In this video, you'll learn how to style your Sugar Market forms to match your branding guidelines. Since we built this form using the Contact Us theme, there are preset colors, text, field widths set within the form. Each component of the form will need to be styled separately, but I'll show you a few features that will save you some time while styling. Before we make any styling changes, I want to walk you through some of the options in the top navigation bar first. You can see the name and template name, type of form, and you also have the option to toggle to mobile view where you can edit the dimensions of the individual fields. Next, you'll have the undo and redo commands. The form will auto-save changes you make, and this is a quick way to revert back to previous versions of your form. You have the option to preview this form on a desktop or mobile device, and this will show you the actual dimensions of the form and how the user would see it. Also, you have the option to manually save your form in case you have spotty internet or just want some peace of mind. Additional options can be found by clicking into the Context menu. From here, you can also select Preview or Save manually. If you'd like to save your form as a template for future use, this is where you'd be able to navigate and do that. You can also switch to a template from here, or you have the option to exit the builder. The editor for each component can be seen on the right side of the screen, and as changes are made, the form will update on the left. If you'd like to edit the container of the form, you'll need to click on any blank space inside of the form around the fields if the editor is not already there. First, you have the container's dimensions. This includes the width and padding measured in pixels. The height is determined by how many fields there are in the structure of the build, but you have some wiggle room by adjusting the padding. Usually, by default, the width is set to 700 pixels, but since I begin with a template, my width will be different. This can be increased or decreased by either typing in or clicking on the arrows. The padding can be used to increase or decrease the space between the fields and the outside of the form. You can edit each individually or click the lock button to adjust each to the same size. Next, you can adjust the background style. You want to consider what page the form is being posted on so that does not clash. To adjust the background color, you can either use the color picker or type the hex code. You can also adjust the opacity of the background by adjusting the slider. One will be completely opaque, and then the closer you bring the slider to 0, the less opaque the background will become. The border style, size, and color can be adjusted as well. The corner radius can be increased or decreased from each corner of the form to adjust the curve. If the pixel size is increased, the corner will become more rounded. If decreased, the corner will become closer to a right angle. The lock can be used to adjust all corners. Finally, you have the ability to add a drop or inner shadow to the form. If you choose a shadow, you can adjust the color, size of the axis, blur, and spread. To edit the field labels, you'll need to click on one label and all will be highlighted to be edited. The dimensions for the labels will allow you to adjust the margins around each label. Adjusting the top and bottom margin will either move the label closer or farther from the text box, and adjusting the left and right margin will move the label closer or farther from the container. Label text is where you can edit the font styling. You can select an available font and choose the font style next to type. The font size can be edited by typing or by using the arrows. You may also edit the label color and opacity. Here, we're adjusting the input color, which is going to be the font color when someone fills out this form. Last, the alignment of the label can be edited as well. Since I started with a template theme, some of the field margins, row height, etc. are already set up. So, to save myself some time, I can find the copy icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, which looks like a roller paintbrush. Then navigate and highlight by clicking on the field that I'd like to have the same setup. Then back up in the right-hand corner, find the clipboard icon to the right of the roller brush icon, which will paste the copied style to that field. To edit, click the text box you would like to edit, then view your options on the right. The options available are the same as the container that we went through previously, with the addition of text editing. The text style will be present when the user types their response. The text style is adjusted where you see input color. The style options for this text are the same as the label, but with the addition of a placeholder color if the changes are made. The last item that I'm styling is the Submit button. You should see familiar options within the editor, including the dimensions in the dimension section. I also have the option to adjust the height and width of the button. For the remaining portion of this form, I'll continue adjusting the corner radius of my horizontal line, my text color, the line thickness, as well as the line color. And I usually just play around with different things, different fonts, different sizes until I have it aligned with my branding standards or to my liking. Lastly, with the required fields, the required label can be edited when selected. And here you have some of the same options as the field label with the option to adjust label types. The label defaults to text, but you can also choose the asterisk or circle, and you have the ability to adjust the input color or the label color as well as the size and opacity. Once I'm satisfied with the style of my form, I can click Next to move on to the form actions. To learn more about form actions, tune into the next video within this series.